Imagine this: every second of every day, everything around you, the stars, the galaxies, even the empty space between atoms, is stretching, expanding, growing. The universe is not still. It is not silent. It is not resting. It is moving endlessly, like a breath that never stops. But here is the real mystery. Why? Why is the universe expanding at all? Why hasn't it slowed down? Why does space itself grow like something alive? This question is older than humanity, and the answer is stranger than anything science fiction ever imagined. This is the story of our expanding universe. A story about creation, about time, about destiny, and about the force that is tearing galaxies away from one another faster than the speed of light. Sit tight, because what you're about to hear will change the way you look at the night sky forever. In the beginning, and when we say beginning, we truly mean the beginning of everything. There was no space, no time, no matter, no galaxies, no stars, no dust, no particles, not even emptiness. There was simply nothing. A nothing so complete that even the idea of nothingness fails to describe it. And then, in a moment so small that it defies imagination, reality burst into existence. This moment is what we call the Big Bang. The Big Bang was not an explosion in space. It was the creation of space. It was like a spark that lit the fire of reality itself. From that moment, space began stretching outward, not from a center, but everywhere at once. And this expansion has never stopped. Continues today, 13.8 billion years later. But the real question is, why? To understand that, we must go deep into the fabric of existence. Space is not empty. It is not a blank stage. It is a dynamic, flexible, ever-changing fabric. Einstein was the first to show us that space bends, twists, curves, that gravity is not a pulling force, but a distortion of this cosmic fabric. But Einstein's equations also contained something else. Something he didn't believe at first. Something he tried to hide. His equations suggested the universe should be expanding. He added a constant to stop it, the cosmological constant. Later, when scientists discovered the expansion of the universe, Einstein called that constant the biggest mistake of my life. But it wasn't a mistake. It was a preview of a truth bigger than he ever imagined. Let's move forward in time to the year 1929. A young astronomer named Edwin Hubble observed distant galaxies using the most powerful telescope of his era. What he noticed shattered centuries of scientific belief. The galaxies were not standing still. They were not circling around a center. They were moving away, all of them, in every direction. And the farther a galaxy was, the faster it seemed to move. This was not random motion. It was a pattern, a law.
A cosmic signature.
Space itself was expanding. Suddenly, humanity realized that we live in a universe that behaves like rising dough, like stretching rubber, like a balloon inflating endlessly. And we are inside it, not at the center, but part of its fabric. The universe was born expanding. But that still doesn't answer the deeper question. Why does it keep expanding? Why does it not stop? Why does it not slow down? For decades, scientists believed expansion should slow over time because of gravity. Think of it this way. When you throw something upward, Earth's gravity slows it down. So logically, the mass of all galaxies should slow the expansion of space. And for many years, everyone assumed that must be happening. But then, something impossible happened. In 1998, two separate teams of scientists studied supernova explosions billions of light years away. What they found was shocking. The universe was not slowing down. It was speeding up. Expansion was accelerating. Just imagine that. Imagine throwing a ball upward, and instead of slowing down, it speeds up faster and faster. That defies logic. That defies gravity. That defies everything we understood. Something invisible, something powerful was pushing the universe apart. Scientists gave this mysterious force a name: dark energy. And today, dark energy makes up almost 70% of the entire universe. We don't know what dark energy is. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know why it increases. We don't know if it will stay forever, but we do know this. Dark energy is driving the universe to grow faster every moment. Let's imagine space as a rubber sheet. Galaxies are like buttons glued onto the sheet. If you stretch the sheet, the distance between the buttons increases. But the buttons themselves don't change. That's why the space between galaxies grows, but galaxies themselves do not expand. Gravity inside galaxies is strong enough to hold them together. Your body doesn't stretch. The Earth doesn't stretch. The Milky Way doesn't stretch. But the distance between the Milky Way and other galaxies grows larger every second, because space between them expands. On the largest scales, clusters, superclusters, cosmic filaments, expansion becomes obvious. The universe looks like a giant web, with galaxies sitting on glowing threads. And these threads drift apart like ice sheets breaking on an endless cosmic ocean. This is the expanding universe we live in. Now think about this. The universe has no edge. There is no boundary. There is no border where expansion stops. Space expands everywhere simultaneously. If you traveled to the farthest galaxy, you would still see galaxies moving away from you. Every point in the universe feels like the center, because expansion happens in all directions. This is one of the most difficult ideas for the human mind to grasp. Our brains evolved to understand trees, rocks, rivers, landscapes, not the shape of reality at cosmic scales. But science slowly unveils what our instincts cannot comprehend. Space itself is a living thing, not biologically living, but dynamically evolving, growing, stretching like a cosmic heartbeat. But now we approach the greatest question of all. If the universe is expanding, how long will it continue? And what will happen in the end? There are several possibilities. The first possibility, the big freeze. If expansion continues forever, galaxies will drift so far apart that their light can no longer reach each other. Stars will burn out. New stars will stop forming. The universe will become cold, dark, and silent. A universe expanding into eternal night. The second possibility, the big rip. Imagine dark energy growing stronger every moment. Stronger than gravity. Stronger than the forces inside galaxies. One day, dark energy could tear galaxies apart. Then stars. Then planets. Then atoms. Then space itself. Everything ripped. The third possibility, the big crunch or the big bounce. Some theories suggest expansion might someday reverse. Gravity could once again dominate. The universe might slow, stop, then collapse, shrinking until everything compresses into a single point, just like the Big Bang. And then boom, a new universe begins. A cycle with no beginning and no end. We don't know which future is real, but each possibility is astonishing. But there is something even more beautiful hidden inside this story. Something deeply human. You are part of this expansion. Your atoms were forged in exploding stars. Your existence is a consequence of the universe stretching and cooling. If the universe had not expanded, you would not exist. Every heartbeat inside your chest is possible only because the universe never stopped growing. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are a chapter in its evolution, a moment in its endless expansion. And yet, you are the only part of the universe, as far as we know, that can look back and ask, why? Galaxies do not ask questions. Stars do not wonder. Nebulas do not think. Black holes do not reflect. But you do. Humans do. We can trace the expansion of the universe. We can measure it. We can predict it. We can dream about it. We can fear it. We can love its mystery. This is the true gift of being human. The ability to look into the darkness of space and see meaning. So why is the universe expanding? Because it began with expansion. Because something, perhaps dark energy, pushes it still. Because the laws of physics allow and demand a universe that grows. Because creation is not a moment, but a process that continues even now. The truth is simple yet profound. The universe expands because that is its nature. And as it grows, so do we. Our knowledge expands. Our curiosity expands. Our understanding expands. our imagination expands. We are witnesses to the greatest show ever performed, the evolution of existence itself. And as we learn more, we discover that the universe is not just expanding outward. It is expanding within us too. Because every new discovery stretches the boundaries of the human mind. Every unanswered question pulls us forward. And every night, when you look up at the stars drifting slowly apart, remember this: you are looking at the living history of creation, a universe that refuses to stand still, a universe forever becoming, a universe expanding endlessly into the unknown.